Chad, if you're watching this video, I want to genuinely say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your business. We have broke quite a few milestones this week, and I'm really excited to share all that information with you. The 1,000th item I've sold since I've started selling on eBay. This is the item that pushed me over 10,000. Welcome back, everybody. I'm proud to announce that after the last couple weeks of having 60-degree weather and then every Sunday having a snowstorm, we avoided having a snowstorm this Sunday. So we did have a week of 60-degree weather, but this morning we're having an ice storm, which is freezing rain. As soon as it hits the ground, it turns into ice. It's actually kind of cool right now. I'll throw some pictures up. My whole car is covered in a sheet of ice, like a protective field. So are all the trees. So's the dog line. It looked really cool that it's just got like a layer of ice on it with icicles hanging down. There should be some pictures showing up on screen right now. But it is still super cold. I'm still not in a tank top and shorts. I'm actually wearing gloves because my fingers are freezing so badly. But these latex gloves are really nice for insulation. So there is a very real possibility that I'll lose power in the middle of this, because right now trees are falling down like crazy because of the weight of the ice on the trees are taking down power lines. So if power goes out, you guys won't know about it because it'll be a quick edit for me. Also, this has been a phenomenal week in the eBay business. We have broke quite a few milestones this week, and I'm really excited to share all that information with you. Most importantly, baseball season is back. I absolutely am a huge baseball fan. For those who don't know, I'm a Dodgers fan. If you're a Dodgers fan, welcome and go Dodgers. If you're not a Dodgers fan, I'm incredibly sorry for you. I hope that your team does okay, but they're not the Dodgers, and that's just the way it is. And that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week, so let's just go ahead and jump into the numbers and start getting through everything. This week, we had a gross sales of $1,071, which was a net of $500.92. Now, before we go any further, let's stop right there. As you guys know, I do not care about gross. I do not think gross is that important of a number. It's all about net. It's what you bring home. However, this week, I noticed I was sitting at 9,900 in gross sales for the past 90 days. And I don't know why, but that little child instinct in me was like, holy cow, you could hit 5 figures in gross sales in a 90-day period this week. And it turned a switch on in me where I was in wheelin' dealin' mode. I was willing to make deals to get it through. We did push over. I got over the 10,000. If you're a subscriber here on YouTube and you saw my community post, you might have been following the story. But I did break 10,000 in my 90 days. And then yesterday, we blew the doors off the 10,000 number, which is absolutely awesome. We're obviously going to be talking about it in the top 10 because number 1 is a great flip. And I was already over 10,000 when it happened, but it was the one that like catapulted me way over 10,000. This week I had an average gross per sale of $33.47 with an average net per sale of $17.93, which was a 55% net profit margin per sale and an average net profit margin per sale of 51%. Also, this is, I believe, number 1 or number 2 net sales week I've ever had. If it's not number 1, it's a very close number 2. I have to go back and check the numbers on it because the only other week that could have even competed with this would have been the Raiders jacket sale. And I can't remember if that got over $600 in net or not. But I'm really excited. March, the trend that started in December since I started doing tiered sales has continued. And right now, my March numbers have already beaten my February numbers. So for profitability, March is officially my most profitable month. Obviously, we got one more day left to go, and I hope I rack to that total. I already woke up this morning with 3 sales. And as you can see, my outgoing mail is, you can't even see it all because it's almost stacked to the ceiling. I'm just kidding. I have 20-foot high ceilings in the barn, and it's not even close to touching the ceiling. But spoiler, Number one might be right here on the top 10 list. But I had 3 sales this morning when I woke up, so that was really nice. Start off to the Sunday morning, knowing it's going to be going right into another good week. All right, net return by sources this week. It is a St. Vinny's. A local St. Vinny's is holding the number one spot, and that, I believe, is only one sale from that store. We've talked about it in the past episode, what it is, but we'll get into it later on the top 10. All right, and number 2, of course, Sunglasses holding it down. Sunglasses was holding the number one spot up until about 6 o'clock last night, and then Sunglasses got overtaken. And then just a slew of different thrift stores and donated items throughout the rest of the list. I didn't go sourcing again. This is 2 weeks in a row I didn't go sourcing because I had a huge death pile. That death pile, no longer huge. Actually, it's getting down there, and I have to get out and I have to source and I have to get some items so I can sell this week for sure. And it's going to be kind of rough because my normal sourcing day is Wednesday, and this Wednesday I have my annual physical with the doctor. So I've got a doctor's appointment. I got to do blood work and all the good stuff. It's actually going to be an all-day affair. And there's not many thrift stores where my doctor is. So I might have to do a Tuesday or a Thursday sourcing run this week. And hopefully the weather will finally get turned around where people up here feel comfortable enough to have a yard sale or garage sale. But right now, that's the only thing that's been holding it back is the weather. So I got to get out sometime this week while also finishing all my college work for the week. And I have my annual physical. This is that Paul not sourcing for 2 weeks might come back to bite me scenario. Cost of goods sold this week was $101. I paid eBay a total of $145 in marketplace fees. Shipping labels this week cost me $234. Continued my goal of listing 12 a day, hitting 84 for the week. I had a total of the new average hovering around 32 sales this week. I keep going back and forth on whether or not in April I want to downsize to do 8 listings a day and basically downsize my listings per day by a third. As of right now, I think I'm going to downsize to just only listing 8 a day starting on the 1st. But don't be surprised if you guys come here next Sunday and I just continued on with the 12. I don't know. I'm so wishy-washy on it because, of course, I've got that big internal fear like, oh my God, this hot streak that I'm on is going to come to a screeching halt if I downsize to only listing 8 items a day. However, listing only 8 items a day would provide me a lot more time. Not so much stress on having to have so much inventory to list. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear, but as of right now, the plan is to downsize. I at least want to try it for a month just to see what happens to my sales and to see what happens to the numbers. Because if I start seeing my sales go down, I'm obviously going to reverse course on it right away. Average time for me to list something in my store this week was 24 days. Average time for me to sell something in my store this week was 3 months. I had a 554% return on investment and an average return on investment per sale of 640. Bandit keeps putting my hand in his mouth. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that, Bandit? Why are you doing that? Like, not to bite it, but like just putting my hand in his mouth. You're a good boy. I love you. You're a good boy. Jumping into the top 10. Number 10 this week is this Tommy Hilfiger men's 2XL 4-color logo t-shirt. I picked this shirt up for $2.80 at a local Goodwill. It sold on eBay for $27 even, which was $20.07 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $5.21. That provided me a net return of $14.67, which was a 524% return on investment and a 54% net profit margin. The number 9 sale of the week is this vintage polo by Ralph Lauren men's large brown shirt with a blue pony. I picked this up for $3.69 at a local Goodwill. It sold on eBay for $27.83. That was $20.68 for the shirt, $7.15 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $5.49. That provided me a net return of $14.81. Which was a 401% return on investment and a 53% net profit margin. And the number 8 sale of the week, one of my favorite things to sell, is this Under Armour men's large heat gear golf polo, purple striped, and it had the Paco Ridge Country Club logo on it. I picked this up for $2.89. It sold on eBay for $27.15. That's $20 even for the shirt, $7.15 for the shipping. The actual cost to ship this item was $5.49, which provided me a net return of $15.01, which was a 519% return on investment and a 55% net profit margin. And the number 7 sale of the week is also a milestone sale. It is this Nike's men's medium dry fit polo shirt. So the reason this shirt is a milestone sale is because this shirt has the distinct honor of being the 1,000th item I've sold since I've started selling on eBay. If you guys have been following me for a long time and you've seen my first episode ever, I got my first sale on day 3 of reselling, and I was absolutely in shock and awe because I legitimately thought it was probably going to take me about 3 months to get my first sale. And here we are, less than a year after losing my job and starting this eBay reselling journey. And I'm telling you guys, this is the 1,000th item I've sold in a calendar year. And it is absolutely awesome. I can't tell you how good it feels to start something and you didn't think it was going to be that big, and watching it to grow and build up to the point where you sell 1,000 items for a profit on eBay, knowing you can make your own way in this world, have your own business. And I think that's one of the greatest things about reselling is the barrier to entry is not high at all. Anybody can do this. Literally anybody can resell as long as you understand what you're doing. And if you guys are scared and thinking about jumping into it, I know I was there less than a year ago. Like, could I actually do this? And I always came up with excuses to, like, for the first couple weeks when I was trying to look into it, of I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. Trying to build myself up. Let me tell you, you can do this. Take the plunge, list an item. It's not going to hurt anything. And you're going to make mistakes. You're going to screw up, but you learn from those mistakes and you carry on. And the next thing you know, it's less than a year in and you sold 1,000 items and you're making good money. So, yes, I picked this shirt up for $2.80 at a local Goodwill. It sold on eBay for $27.40. That was $21 for the polo, $6.40 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $4.71. That provided me a net return of $16.14, which was a 576% return on investment and a 59% net profit margin. Number 6 sale of the week are these Panasonic HK2618 stereo speakers. When I first started off reselling, for some reason I thought speakers were a great thing to sell, and I loaded up on them. And they're not bad. Speakers do good. But the problem with speakers are they take up a lot of real estate in your inventory, and they're slow movers. I was glad to see these go this week. I picked these up for $3.07 from a Goodwill. They sold on eBay for $44.49, which was $19.49 for the speakers, $25 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $20.24, which provided me a net return of $16.81, which was a 548% return on investment and a 38% net profit margin. Number 5 sale of the week. Glad to see sunglasses not only on the top 10, but having actually a pretty high spot on the top 10 this week. We sold a lot of sunglasses this week. However, this pair happens to be a very expensive pair of sunglasses. And for those who don't know, I buy the Foster's Grant line of sunglasses, which is the Walmart brand, and I buy them brand new. And I get them in, and I have no clue what models I'm getting in, what styles I'm getting in. It is literally a grab bag of new with tag sunglasses, and every now and then the average is about a $10 to $15 pair of sunglasses, but every now and then you get ones that are worth quite a bit of money. And luckily I got a pair of these body glove sunglasses, the FL20 BLK POL, which is black polarized. I picked these up on eBay for $1.12. They sold on eBay for $25.63. That's $19.98 for the sunglasses, $5.65 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $4.14. That provided me a net return of $16.90, which was a 1,509% return on investment and a 66% net profit margin. And the number 4 sale of the week are these Tommy Hilfiger Men 50 by 30 jeans, big and tall, relaxed fit. Picked these jeans up for $2.59 at a Goodwill. They sold on eBay for $33.40. That's $22 for the jeans, $11.40 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $11.45, which provided me a net return of $19.96, which was a 771% return on investment and a 60% net profit margin. And the number 3 sale of the week is an item that this is now the only the third I can confirm is a YouTube viewer sale. It is this vintage Misfits men's 4XL shocking return t-shirt. So I'm sure that I have sold a couple items throughout that 1,000 items of my career to you, a YouTube viewer who watched my channel, went to my store and purchased, and thank you so much for that. However, there's only 3 that I can confirm who purchased from me who were YouTube viewers, this being one of them. Chad, if you're watching this video, I want to genuinely say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your business. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy this shirt. This shirt was donated to me by my brother. My brother was a big Misfits fan, and he's fluctuated with weight in his adult life, and glad to say he's living a super healthier life, and he's down waist size. So when he was wanting to get rid of some of his bigger clothes, he had me come in. I saw this. I knew that this was a great shirt. So I went ahead and took this one, and I got it for $0. It sold on eBay for $31.98, which was $22.98 for the shirt, $9 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $6.25. That provided me a net return of $20.70, which is an infinite return on investment and a 65% net profit margin. Again, thank you, Chad, so much for buying the shirt. Number 2 sale of the week is this Sears and Roebuck LXI 304.9241041 dual cassette deck stereo. This is the item that pushed me over 10,000. It was this sale that got my 90-day average over $10,000 in the gross category. I picked this cassette deck up at a local Goodwill for $3.21. It sold on eBay for $75 even. That was $50 for the cassette deck, $25 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $14.70, which provided me a net return of $50 even, which was a 1,558% return on investment and a 67% net profit margin. And the number 1 sale of the week is the big boy. It is this vintage 1997 Sony LBT D290 stereo system with speakers, tested, read, see video. So this is one of those old school stereos, which was like a piece of furniture. It's literally like with the speakers and the stereo on each side. It's like 5 feet by 3 feet high. It's a big thing. It's not that big, but it's feet by feet. It's a big stereo system. I talked about this back when I got it, when I picked it up at the thrift store. I picked this up for $30 at a St. Vincent's here in the Upper Peninsula. And when I walk into a St. Vincent's, they do a dual color of the day up in the Upper Peninsula St. Vincent's. So one color is 75% off, one color is 50% off. That's how St. Vincent's work up here. And one color, like I always go in, I look at the board and I see what the 2 colors are, and immediately my eyes just start focusing on those tags. Like I'm like a robot going through the store, just looking at colors of tags. And when I went in this day, green tags were 50% off, and I'm walking in, this giant stereo is sitting in their furniture section, and it's huge. And I was like, dang. And I saw it was Sony from a distance, and I'm like, huh. And as I got closer, I saw the tag was green, and I'm like, okay, 50% off. Now I'm super interested. So I went up. It looked, visually, it was in great condition. Like, it looked like it was in great condition. And the tag said $60, so meaning half off, $30. I wouldn't have bought it. I would not have bought it had it not worked. So I did as much testing in the store as I could. They had one little power station on the wall in the back corner. It wasn't for testing items, but that was the only place there was like an electrical access for customers. So I had it in a cart. I wheeled it up. I plugged it in, and it was a 5-disc CD player, dual cassette deck, AM/FM radio, and not record player. Can't remember. But it was a giant stereo. And I plugged it in, switched it to CD. I hit the rotate function. I could see the wheel rotating the 5 different disc holders. I was like, okay, I don't know if the CDs work, but I can obviously see that the mechanics of it are working in the store. I popped open each tape deck and I pressed the play button and the motor spun on both of them. So I was like, all right, let me look this up. Now, that's when I decided to do the comp. I didn't do the comp before this part. I did it after. And I looked it up, and the 2 had sold in the previous 90 days. Both of them sold for $400 and $420 free shipping. Both free shipping. And I'm like, Jesus. All right. Yeah, I'm picking this up. I'll take it home. So I take it home. I test it. Everything on it worked, except one of the tape decks did work, but the motor... the timing of the motor in the tape deck was off, so it was running slow. So, like, as you were listening to a song, if this was the normal cadence of the song, it turned down real slow like this. Took a video of everything working and the tape deck showing that the motor was slowed, made sure everything was put in the listing, and I listed it for $300 plus $100 shipping, because I tried to measure everything out and find out what shipping was going to cost me, and $100 is where it was really sitting at. It was anywhere from 100 and that on. So I put $100 shipping on it. $300 for the stereo, $100 for the shipping. And I said, I will take the first offer over $350 plus shipping. That was like my basement on this. I was like, I'll go $50 lower if somebody wants to offer it to me. I've had it for a couple months now. It has easily been my most viewed and most watched item I've ever had in my store. It had over 10,000 views, and it's the only item I've ever had that it got over 100 watchers. So this is always something that's been looked at every single day, and it's been sitting in 4 people's carts for the past month and a half. And there have been lowball offers thrown at me for this for like $120, $150 plus shipping, and I turned them down because I knew that the value is there. I knew it was worth more, and I was willing to deal. I knew that $350 would have been the lowest I take. So last night we have the ice storm coming in. We had an early snowstorm yesterday morning, and I knew this ice storm was coming, and I knew it was coming in the evening time, which is fine. And yesterday I'm sitting inside with the pups, and all of a sudden my phone blings and somebody offers me $260. I'm sorry. Yeah, $260. So $250 was the lowest I would accept it. I think I misspoke and said $350. $250 plus the 100 shipping would have been $350, would have been the lowest I would accept it. And somebody came in with an offer of $260, and I'm sitting there and I was like, yes. And then I stopped and I thought about it, and I'm like, oh no. I forgot to pick up more shipping supplies last week when I ran into town, because I take my payday from eBay once a month. So I get it on the first Tuesday of the month. So payday is for the first coming up here this week. And I was like, I've got enough for selling remotes and sunglasses. I have enough shipping supplies to last me for another month. And I was like, nah, I don't need to pick it up. But I've always known in the back of my head that when this stereo sells, it's going to require a lot of shipping supplies, a lot of bubble wrap, a lot of void filler, box. And I knew I didn't have a box that fixed it. I knew I could Frankenstein a box if I had to, but I didn't want to for the stereo because it's such an old stereo and it's in such nice condition. But now I have this $260 offer, and I don't have the shipping supplies to ship it. So I knew today there was going to be no possible way of traveling or leaving my house. It would have just been too dangerous. So last night in the 10th hour, right before this ice storm started, I had to run the 30 miles into town, and I had to pick up some last minute shipping supplies, and I ran to Home Depot. I bought the biggest box Home Depot had. It still wasn't big enough to fit this stereo. So I had to this is the first single sale item that I've had to take one sale and split it up into multiple boxes and figure out how to do the shipping for it. It actually wasn't that bad. It's not that hard. For those who don't know, if you ever have one order that's multiple pieces that you have to send in multiple packages, what you do is you buy the first label, and then you go back into it, and your orders under My Seller Hub. You go into that order and say, get another label, and then you just put in the weights and measurements for the second label, and it adds both of the tracking numbers, or however many tracking numbers you end up with, into eBay for the time. So yeah, I had to do that. And this stereo was huge. And this is also the first time I bought 3-foot wide bubble wrap just to make my life easier to package up these giant speakers and this giant stereo system. I double wrap, triple wrap everything, and then I put a layer of large bubble wrap lining the outside layer of the box. So when I put the stereo in, then I had that way able to wrap all the way around it. And then whatever empty void space was left, packing paper in there. And you can see it right here. The bottom one is the speakers. This one is the stereo. And then my regular outgoing mail is stacked up on top of that. They are packed nice, tight, and safe. And then I emailed the buyer, or I messaged the buyer, and I let him know, like, hey, just so you know, there's 2 boxes on this. I'm sending them separately. One's speakers, one's the stereo. Here's all the information. Really nice guy. And he was very thankful for that. So this one just catapulted me in well over that $10,000 gross sales. Yeah, I don't think this is my biggest individual sale ever. I think the Raiders jacket still... You know what? Let's go check it out real quick. Yep, the Raiders jacket still holds the #1 spot at a net sales of 302. #2 spot is still the VHS tape cleaning machine, and now this is my #3 most single profitable item ever sold. I picked this up for $30 at a St. Vincent de Paul's. It sold on eBay for $360. That was $260 for the stereo and speakers and $100 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item, it says $34. That was just for one package, and the second package was $29.69. So looking at $75-ish was the actual cost to ship this item. That provided me a net return of $221.77, which was a 739% return on investment and a 62% net profit margin. And that concludes our top 10 sales. I don't want to wax poetically for a long time today. I'm freezing cold, so just a few things I want to talk about real quick. As I mentioned, it's baseball season, and I want to get inside because I want to watch baseball while I edit this video, and they'll be starting here pretty soon. And Bandit and Boots are ready to go inside too. But this week has been phenomenal. School's going good. The business is going absolutely fantastic. I got a busy week coming up with doctor's appointments, college, and needing to get out and legitimately source and start getting some more inventory here in the garage so I can continue to list. And I think that's another reason I might want to downsize to 8, just so I don't have to worry about how much inventory I need incoming to list and make my listing goal of 8 a day. Me and my brother, we also started a weight loss challenge this week. So hopefully from now until the rest of the summer, you guys see me as the incredibly shrinking man and starting to lose some weight. I did my official weigh-in this Thursday. My official starting weight's 285. I bought a bike. I'm taking the dogs out for 2 walks a day now, and I'm doing a bike ride a day. As of right now, I'm not going to be doing it today or tomorrow with the ice storms, but I'm trying to live a healthier life this summer, and I'm switching my diet up, eating a lot better this week. Basically, if you want to know what Paul's having for lunch, dinner, or any meal, it's going to be boneless, skinless chicken breast, broccoli, or Brussels sprouts with a side salad. That's literally what I'm eating for every single meal. It's always worked for me in the past. And then breakfast, I'm having eggs and meat and fruit is all I'm eating for breakfast. But hopefully you guys will get to watch me as I start my weight loss journey here every Sunday, and you guys will see me starting to thin out. At least that's the hope. Other than that, I don't think I have much else to share this week. It's just been an absolutely awesome milestone breaking week. If it's we're breaking the most money we've made in a week, if it's selling our 1,000th item since we started, or if it's breaking the 5-figure 90-day gross mark, it's fantastic. And breaking that 90-day gross mark means I definitely broke 5,000 in the net department. So my goal is $15,000 for the entire year, and I can tell you I'm well over $5,000 for the first months. So I'm on track right now to make $20,000 in this calendar year. However, summer slowdown is a thing. I saw it last summer, and I know that these record-breaking sales don't last forever. They're going to even out at some point, and that's totally okay. But doesn't mean we don't stop trying, and we keep pushing forward. And I hope all of you guys are having great sales weeks too. I don't want to feel like I'm bragging or rubbing it in. If it's coming across that way, it's not. I'm just really happy with how my business has been working out the last 3 months, really since I started the tiered sales. And I know I've talked about it at length, and I sound like I'm a salesman for tiered weekend sales, but they have changed my business and I truly enjoy them. I need to do an in-depth video at the beginning of the month on how I separate my items into the different tiers. Like right now, my lowest percentage items are golf polos, shirts, hats, summer items. Those are my, because I know they're going to sell right now. I remember last year when I couldn't sell anything except for golf polos, especially Under Armour Heat Gears. I've also been selling a lot of Wrangler Pearl Snaps. Those have been selling really good. Not the highest profit making thing, but they sell and they bring money in the door. And that's all I'm trying to do right now, is just bring money in the door. Never in my wildest dreams. My goal when I first started this was to get it to a point where I could make $1,000 of profit a month. And I'm now at the point where I'm sitting like $20 under $2,000 in sales, in profit, $2,000 in profit in March alone. So yeah, this has been an absolutely fantastic time. Again, I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you guys have a great week to come. And remember, no matter what happens, Boots, Bandit, and myself will see you guys next Sunday. Have a great week, everyone.